You have to start domestically because there's loads of debate about quotas and technical development of English players, and I always believe, well, obviously you've got problems with European law, but my whole emphasis has been trying to make English youngsters better. And unless you put quality coaches working in younger age groups, you're never going to get them come through at 16, 17 and 18. I mean, you can have the best under 18 coach in the world, but if they've got a group of youngsters who are not going to be technically good enough to cope with the demands of the modern game, then you're wasting that under 18 coach because you got it wrong further down. And that has been the debate we've trying to have for the last 2 or 3 years, really. Fabio's obviously been very supportive from the point of view. He used to be academy coach, and it was all about their centre in Florence, and so from a longer term point of view has been very supportive of what we're trying to achieve. But of course he's focusing now very much on trying to get the current senior group to perform to their maximum, whatever that means. And there's been lots of debate, but I think he's quietly gone about his role. It's been a very useful few months for him, which a lot of international managers don't get the chance to have a look at players and decide before you actually start a qualifying campaign. So now we get into the nitty gritty. I think he's got his views of how he wants to move forward, and let's hope now he has all players available when he wants them. You don't get injuries, because obviously that is one of the areas we haven't perhaps got the depth in one or two of the key positions that we do need over a qualifying campaign.
And of course it was a terrific European Championship this year. Does that make it doubly disappointing England weren't there, and does it make us all doubly determined to get England to the World Cup?
Well, it was hugely frustrating. I think any English football fan or person involved with the game, I think the great thing from my point of view was the quality of the technical skill, really. I mean, which is what we've been arguing for the last 2 or 3 years. We've got to be able to cope with that. And the great thing for me was looking at Spain. I mean, some of the outstanding individuals were quite small players. I mean, we've had a debate for a few years where you, unless you're 6 foot plus and athletic, you're actually not going to make the game in the modern game. And for me, that was always nonsense. And if you looked at Spain with Iniesta, Xavi, Fabregas, and Silva, and then you had in Modric, Arshavin. I mean, they're all 5'8", but they had one key factor: they had quality, and they had a bit of flair and technique, and really that's, I think, a great message to all coaches, really, that it doesn't matter the size of the individual. If they've got that bit of technique, then they can cope with any outstanding football. And that was a great thing for me, that there's no substitute for technical skill, and that's what we've got to, I think, introduce more into our game.